I don't believe there's a single bad LEGO game. A mean drunk can sit down playing them and find some entertainment value in them. The expected critique of gameplay will play a factor in my ranking, of course, and although biased, mood and where it takes me will also dictate my ranking. Snowy nights at home, summer nights submerged in thunderstorms, a parallel atmosphere to my experience of these games. I'll rank them all at the end. Youth itself, the time before the age of maturity, which though irrevocably past, the nostalgic person associates with the simple pleasures of life. Of course, expectedly, nostalgia is a driving factor for many, and for me personally, the quote applies heavily. The sound design is amazing and the crunchy DS audio somehow enhances it. The stud collecting, the menu screen with Batman sitting atop the cathedral, especially with the score from Batman 89, probably the biggest mood setter. It fits in perfectly with the atmosphere of the game. The buildings aren't very steep, like we see in the console version. We're very much not in downtown Gotham. It's the change in architecture and homes prevalent in New York and Chicago. It's a different side of Gotham, fitting for the DS version to be in an alternate. I love all the chapters pretty equally, and I don't even mind the vehicle missions too. For me, it's quite easy to follow. The Joker chapter, like the console version, really is the game's atmosphere to the limit. I love Killer Croc's level 2, engulfed in toxic green sludge, the gates, under the city streets, unknown to the masses. We are in a different world here. Console version has a quiet atmosphere, it's a different type of eerie. Here the screams sound violent, and the crunchy audio really enhances that effect. Being an early LEGO game, the old style, no voice acting is what we have here. The old LEGO games are perfect in their simplicity. Wayne Manor, like the console version, has quite the atmosphere. Comforting, like my nostalgia for these games. The fire crackling and the crunchy audio once lived in, but now quiet. I imagine Bruce Wayne doesn't really like hanging out here often. You can collect Riddler tokens, 3 is required for 100%ing the game. A Joker card and only 5 mini kits. Collecting all of these is fun, blue, silver, and gold keys to reveal different sections of the mission, and is different from the console version, giving incentive to 100%ing this version. The glass enclosures for the Arkham Asylum inmates created really unique imagery for me. Playing this game on my DS, summer nights through Chicago streets, bright gas station lights above the darkness in the car. My face is illuminated by the DS screen. But gameplay wise, I genuinely believe this is one of the most well-made LEGO games. From the boss fights to the unique suits like the respiratory suit and Robin's biohazard suit, and of course an iconic element of this game, the villain levels. Probably one of my favorite things TT Games has done for any LEGO game. It scratches an itch for me personally. From the 70s to the 90s to its gags and cliches, there's a modern sleekness in its modern depiction of New York, LA, and San Francisco. Frank acts as the dumb sidekick contrasted to the prodigal and talented veteran cop in Chase McCain, whose name sounds almost as fake as Chevy Chase. This game is so much fun, dude. It's great how you can engage in these chases, and I love the micro sections filled with homages and clear influences on mob films. And in Albatross, a clear influence of the Shawshank Redemption, like its 4 fingers imprinted onto the island itself. Red is changed to blue, so I guess blue isn't Irish in this one. The front cover isn't anything too special. It was never ingrained like the original LEGO Batman. The first time I saw that cover for LEGO Batman, it for some reason left a strong impression on me. It was something indescribable. Actually, I can't even describe it now. The story, though quite simple, I actually found some enjoyment in, and by the end it was a satisfying ending. And yeah, basically a LEGO game version of a buddy cop film, and let's not ignore how everyone calls this LEGO GTA, but by the end of it, we're raging through the exosphere in space. For what they're working with, the boss fights weren't too bad. I don't believe they're as engaging as LEGO Batman's boss fights, but those have fantastical elements attached. It recreates the film fairly well. You can use Indy's whip to grab Marion, which is pretty funny. The Egyptian landscape of Raiders of the Lost Ark is captured really well despite its age. It looks really nice. I never found myself bored with the level design either, and it's quite comforting as well. You can get bazookas, use pistols, whips, there's a variety of tools at your disposal. And to be honest, I just find it very fun to kill little plastic figures. There's some cool Easter eggs with some Star Wars characters, which is pretty fun, and the second mission of Chapter 1 is amazing. I can't really pick a favorite mission though. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. The old LEGO game style and the cutscenes are just perfect. Of course they had to evolve their style and gameplay, but this was genuinely perfect. It allows for a full display of the art of the gag, slapstick versions of the film. There's a little bonus mission with young Indy, which was a neat little thing they added. Each mission felt distinct visually, with each having similar puzzles. Banking with Gotham's frugal playboy, the boss fights are unique and are a highlight of this game, along with the steep skyscrapers and dark atmosphere. Feels like eyes are watching, people hidden in their dark rooms with the quiet eeriness we see in the Joker levels. The abandoned, broken roller coaster are like prison walls to Gotham skyline, architecturally beautiful and distinct. I like sitting here at the top looking at Gotham's light. Here, downtown Gotham is very much the focus. From city streets of Two-Face Chase, you can bank on Batman rocking the docks. We're lone vigilantes in a rundown Gotham. If there's a LEGO game I'd go back to the most, it'd be this one. The villain levels are my favorite addition to the game. I love how it provides a different perspective to what's already familiar to us. Replaying the hero mission, I imagine the villain section already being halfway done, and in the back of my mind I'm imagining that part of the mission. It's a fairly small roster and pretty easy one to 100% as well, but I think this game has immense replay value. I like how much a Batman 89 score is prevalent to the point where people associate the music to this game, and not even the movie. Although yeah, simplistic, especially compared to the newer LEGO games, my enjoyment of the original style is just that much higher and only degrades with the more recent a game is, which makes me sound like an old head, but you know what, whatever. The copy I own is actually my brother's, same with the DS version, which was passed down onto me along with his DS. We got the game in 2010, but I didn't play it until around 2015. On the character of the complete saga, 6 chapters condensing Star Wars' elaborate story, it is grand, beloved, and the combination of their 2 previous successes. I personally enjoy this game, and to call it the best LEGO game does do it some disservice, and spoiler, this isn't my favorite LEGO game, but attaching that title makes it seem like you're getting a Last of Us type of experience. This game isn't that, but it's a solid and enjoyable game with an atmosphere close to the film itself. There's plenty of characters here to unlock as well. There's an Indiana Jones teaser too, which is pretty fun. These games are enjoyed most by those who are fans of the properties themselves. If you're not a Star Wars fan, you'll find some enjoyment in it, but you won't be crazy about it. But that's what's cool about LEGO games. You can despise Star Wars and still get a fun experience here. These games can also act as an entry point to the property as well. What? A beloved sequel, but wait, the 3DS version? I don't know if that's the case, but personally, this provides a good handheld experience. That slow-mo shit blew my mind as an 11-year-old. And to be on consensus, but who cares about that shit anyways? This was actually how I first experienced LEGO Batman 2. In fact, that's how I experienced LEGO Batman 1. So of course I come with this sort of bias towards the handheld, but there's also this strange curious animosity towards handheld version because it's quote-unquote weird. I can get that perception, but I just don't believe they're weird at all. I like the darker Batcave with the soothing sounds of waterfalls pouring in, which wasn't in the first handheld version. There's also this battle mode where you fight different villains in a Gotham theater, in this tight arena. They provide a somewhat decent challenge, and also you do get a different experience with the handheld version. It's scaled back, so there's a slight claustrophobia in the missions themselves. Not like the obvious like the subway, but I mean stuff like the Gotham Theater. It's not as grand in scale and graphically it's not as detailed, but the vibe obviously feels reminiscent of the original LEGO Batman DS compared to LEGO Batman 2 itself. I got this one for Christmas, so I came into this one with a lot of excitement, and I wasn't disappointed. I beat it in less than a week. This one took a bit of a strange turn compared to LEGO Batman 2. It feels even more linear and contained than the console version, despite the fact that we're in space and it's a lot more grand. And it took a bit to get used to the game's aesthetic with the space hubs and graphical difference looking more like a mobile game than anything. That aside, I still enjoyed the game, though it took some time. My favorite level is still going to be Gotham Sewers in both the version and the console version. I'm not really an avid collector, mainly that comes to me with comics, so this isn't something I've been building up with save money or anything. Just in general, these were my overall thoughts, well, a brief summary I suppose of these games. I took a different approach with this video. It's a bit more laid back, and no, I wasn't being lazy, it's just what I was feeling at the time, I suppose. I'm not exactly a critic, I'm just a local chud in the streets. Well, let me know what's your favorite out of these mentioned, or just in general every single LEGO game. I'm in the beginning of my YouTube journey, so if you made it to the end here, this is actually a very early video on my channel. And also thank you, especially in the age of 3-second attention spans. It's unfortunate the combination of even narrower algorithms and even lower attention spans. That's an issue for a different day. Peace.